and then more stuff happens after that.
Right, right. So I'm sort of adjusting to this, knowing that one day I'm going to be a wheelchair. I mean, basically, I said one day you're going to be a quadriplegic again. And so I'm sort of trying to figure this out. And then Dave, my ex-husband, came home and told me he was leaving for someone else. And that that rocked my world, probably more than all the other things because I was alone now. Like when Paul died, we had each other, but all of a sudden now I have two adolescent daughters who don't understand what's happening. I'm raising them and I have post polio. So, he moved to another state and I'm doing everything for them, driving, figuring out life. And so that shattered me because we were really close. We had put our marriage back together. I did not expect that. Our family was close, so my daughters felt very betrayed. Like, where is God? And you guys were involved in church. I was leading women's Bible study. At one point, he had been a deacon in our church, so it was just this huge thing, and it shattered all of us to think that a life that sort of looked pretty good on the outside and that we thought was good really wasn't what we thought it was. So that really, I think, is what made my daughters question what was real and whether God was real, sort of in the way that I had. And that, though, was the time I would say when I drew closest to God because I had no other options. Every day I would get up really early and just pour out my heart to God because I was homeschooling my two daughters, which kind of is crazy. But so I'm alone homeschooling them. They're angry. There's just lots of unkindness to rage sort of pouring out in our home. And I would just get up and say, I would read Psalm 119 over and over, which is a very long psalm. But just reading, my soul clings to the dust, revive me according to your word is one of the things I would say, because I just needed God to revive me because I didn't know how I was going to make it. And God did. I mean, that was what was crazy is God revived me in ways I would never have even expected. And I really loved the Bible before then, or I liked the Bible, I would say. And there was lots of times when I got a lot out of it. And there were other times when it felt like cardboard. But after that, I just learned how to dig into the Bible, love scripture, believe that God was speaking to me. And that was a big change for me. I started believing every day when I opened the Bible that God had something to say to me. And that really changed my perspective. If you open the Bible thinking, God is going to speak to me today, and I just need to find what he is saying, you approach scripture very differently. You read each word, you pay attention because the living God is about to talk to you. And that method or just that attitude has really changed the way I've studied the Bible since, just believing there's something for me versus feeling like, okay, today I just got to get through this and move on to the rest of my day. And so I'm very grateful for that time because it drew me to God and the presence of God in a different way than after Paul died, when it was really just this sense that, wow, God is in my car. This is heaven. Versus after Dave left, feeling like God is opening up the scripture to me and God is talking to me. And that was more of a replicatable or replicable experience because that can happen when we open the Bible and we say, God, open my eyes that I would see wonderful things in your law. And we just ask God, he shows up. And I have had these amazing times with God just by believing that God has something to say.